Annyeong, it's Mikey here and welcome back to Mikey Techs. Today we have another Holofix switch and this is the Omnitype Heron. This is going to be an interesting one because this is going to be a switch that is more affordable than other Holofix switches we've seen so far. A lot of the things we saw were like $1 something, $2. It was crazy. This one's 60 cents a switch. That's definitely more on the affordable end of Holofix switches. So I'm curious how this is going to sound. They sounded really great in the wing that Omnitype did a group buy for recently. But I'm curious how they're going to sound in the Holofix boards that I have right now. Hopefully this video helps you guys to see if this is any good. And of course, I have my giveaway going on this week. It ends this week. If you comment on either Mikey Techs or Mikey Type's channel videos from July 26th of the QK100 Mark II and onwards, every video with a comment gets an entry. Hopefully someone wins it, and I'm hoping you guys will enjoy it. It's going to be a custom Holofix keyboard built by me, and you're going to also get an Attack Yogo 75 low profile keyboard as well. Hopefully you guys enjoy what I'm giving away, and then I'll take a little break and then maybe do another giveaway again depending on how this last one goes. So let's go straight into it, but please make sure to like and subscribe. Now introducing the new Omnitype Heron HE Switch. This one I was quite interested to try out because it sounded amazing in the wing keyboard, so we're gonna have to go into this and hear how it sounds and my thoughts. Now from just hearing the switch itself, it is a deeper tone switch and it actually sounds quite nice. Now depending on what kind of plate you have, if you have a CF plate, it's going to feel a little bit scratchy. I'm just going to be honest with you guys in that aspect. Now in terms of the travel, it says it's supposed to be a 3.3mm travel switch, but it's actually going to be 3.5mm in terms of my actual measurement. Now keep in mind, there is always going to be plus or minuses, but let's just say to be safe, the 3.3mm is looking correct, but it might be getting a little bit more travel. Make sure that when you do install these switches, you do run the calibration on your boards, just because the travel, you want to make sure that the board is getting it correctly. Now, in terms of the spring, this is probably one of the shortest springs I've seen in a while. It's only 15 millimeters. Now, in terms of the stock lubing of these, they're actually not heavily looped at all. It's kind of surprising. The rail section is going to be pretty much no lube, lube on the front, but then there's lubing on the back side of it. So those are the things I found interesting, and I found one thing is that the stock looping wasn't very consistent over every single switch. Now, in terms of the decibels, these aren't very loud switches at all. Like, you're going to be looking at averaging around 64 decibels. And in terms of how light these springs are, they are actually pretty light, where at the top end, if you're resting your fingers on your keyboard, you might accidentally actuate it if it's going to be set at 0.1 millimeters. Now, in terms of the stem wobble, at the top end, you're not really getting much rattling at all, which means that these switches can be pretty decently stable. This is something you'd want to see with Hall effect switches because you don't really want things to be moving around too much while you're gaming and actuating accidentally. And even when it's pressed down, the stem wobble is very, very minimal. Like, you're getting very little to like no stem wobble at all. And you can even see it with the keycap. It's mostly the keycap movement than the switch actually moving with the stem. Now, with the top out, I think maybe due to the short spring, the top out is very quiet and very good. Now, in terms of backlighting, they're not going to be that great for the lighting purposes. As you could just saw right there, the 10% was actually completely pitch black. This is actually sitting at 50%. So these switches are really not bright. And this is supposed to be tachyon mode, which is very, very dim. And then this is 100% for the board. So not very bright, and because it has no light diffuser. Now, in terms of my thoughts with the switch compared to, say, Owlab's High Switch and the Geon Raw, because they're on the same price point, I think even in general, comparing with a lot of other switches out there, this one is quite nice. I think for the price range, it is beating the Geon Raw because the Geon Raw can sound flat sometimes, and then the Owlab's High Switch, I think I prefer sound-wise, but these are nice. So my thoughts on the Heron Switch is going to be that I think it's a good switch. Honestly speaking, the price considered, right? Like, there's many factors you have to consider in terms of where the switch lands. And we have the pricing, we have the sound profile, and then does it require modifications? I think the Heron Switch is actually probably one of the more recent releases that I think has been very good. The reason I say this is the pricing is a lot more affordable than all the other ones. Sound profile wise, it's a deeper switch, so if you like Thok, obviously this is going to be something you'll enjoy. And to be fair, I think most Hall effect switches are pretty much at that marbly to Thocky sound profile. This one really does stand out to be good, and I hope that we see more of these. Great job Omnitype on these switches. I'd love to see more of these kind of switches come out. I'll have the links in the description for you guys to go check out, but please check out the other videos I got, and I'll have to catch you guys next time.